Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable this morning. 5 minutes past the top of the hour on this chilly first day of spring. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live in studio, welcome Adam Liss of Cape Stress Reduction and Optimal Health. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you here in studio. So today we are talking about Kick Butts Day, and I think we've all heard about the Great American Smokeout. But tell me a little bit about Kick Butts Day. What is this all about?
So Kick Butts Day is sponsored by the United Health Foundation, and it's really being promoted by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, because this is about helping kids not start smoking. 90% of smokers start before the age of 21. So unfortunately, we actually have marketing campaigns aimed at kids to get them to start smoking.
I know we've seen that on the decline a little bit, of course, with the demise of the famous Joe Camel. I don't think you see him anymore, and I think what the biggest concern about that was, hey, here's a cartoon character selling tobacco products.
Yeah, and so that does seem to have gone away, that kind of more overt stuff, but there is lots of subtle campaigning for kids, and some not so subtle campaigning for kids. Whether it's flavored tobaccos and colored packages and other kinds of cigarette or tobacco products, not just cigarettes, but kids are still smoking. So, for instance, in Massachusetts, 14% of high school kids still smoke. So that's around 50,000 kids, a little more than 50,000 kids. And there's 18% of the adults in Massachusetts are still smoking. Now that's down from 20%, but that's still not a whole big change in
right,
10, 12 years.
Yeah, just 2% change, pretty small.
Yeah, and so every day, 6,700 kids start smoking.
Wow.
All right, and the problem is that nicotine is so addictive, and anybody who smokes really knows how addictive nicotine is that just experimenting with cigarettes means that there's a huge chance that you're going to end up being addicted as a smoker.
Exactly, because it's such a powerful substance. So talk to me a little bit about kind of what is being done to try and combat that. Obviously, there's so much health information out there. I think everybody who picks up a cigarette knows it's not good for you. I don't think there's anyone out there who thinks it's something that's good for you. But again, teenagers, they like to kind of go on the edge. They like to do things that are a little dangerous, maybe be rebellious. So really, what can be done to work on getting these numbers improved?
Probably the best thing that can be done is for kids to help other kids not start smoking. Kids do get amazing training now, starting in elementary school, talking about the dangers of smoking. So when we have high school kids and young teenagers and middle school kids who are in that place of possibly picking up a cigarette, virtually every single one of them knows that this is not a smart thing to do.
Right.
And unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily help. And so one of the problems is that kids are still around secondhand smoke, and we can get addicted to nicotine even in secondhand smoke. For instance, this year in Massachusetts, 9,000 adults will die as a result of smoking. And of the kids who are alive today, 117,000 kids under the age of 18 are liable to die prematurely from smoking. If I am with friends who are smoking and I'm sitting in the car with them and they're smoking, it's a matter of time. So over a period of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm getting enough nicotine in my system that I'm liable to pick up a cigarette and start smoking. So the best way is to really just keep encouraging kids to stay smoke-free.
Now, what about the adults in these children's lives? I think obviously leading by example. You can hear all sorts of things at school, but if you've got maybe parents that smoke, or if you have adult friends that smoke, you're like, oh well, these guys are fine, so I'm not going to ignore everything I learned in school and just do what the adults in my life are doing.
They don't just ignore everything they learn in school, and it's one more thing that says, oh, I could just try this. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. If I just quit smoking cigarettes and I say just one cigarette, that can get me smoking again. There really isn't something easy to be done here, and that's kind of why this day is really interesting, because they really are picking up on what is done on a corporate level to promote smoking. It's really, interestingly enough, cigarettes are the single product legally sold in this country that's guaranteed to kill 1 out of 2 or 3 of its customers.
Kind of scary.
It is, isn't it? And it's just recently been regulated. Tobacco has only recently been regulated, and that hasn't led to a whole lot of control just yet.
Right.
So it's happening slowly. This is, and it's not conspiracy to say that the tobacco companies are, because that's their bottom line. Their bottom line says, I sell tobacco.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, we are seeing some changes. Obviously, here in Barnstable, we recently passed a ban that cigarettes are no longer allowed to be sold at pharmacies or health stores. So you won't see cigarettes at the CVS or the Rite Aid or the Walgreens or whatever here in town. So I think that's just a little tiny step in the right direction.
You know, the Cape actually has been really at the forefront of this. So when Cape Cod went smoke-free, and this is in the last 15 years or so.
I think 2000, April 2000 was when that went into effect.
That happened one town at a time on Cape Cod, and there are 15 towns on the Cape. That happened one town at a time. When the Cape went smoke-free, that was really the impetus for Boston to go smoke-free. And when Boston went smoke-free, the state went smoke-free. So the Cape really has been out in the lead in this. And even just a small select group of people have really been advocating for this town by town, and they can really make a difference. So even a few people can make a difference, and that can carry back to the schools if somebody wants to be in the school and kind of take the lead on saying how dangerous it is to smoke cigarettes. It's a really important place for anybody to step into that role.
Absolutely. So what can be done for those who still are smoking and want to quit? I know there are so many resources out there to help, because it's not an easy thing to do.
It isn't an easy thing to do, and in today's budget crises, a lot of stuff actually has been cut. So the Cape Cod Healthcare was in the forefront as well for many, many years, subsidizing programs to help people quit smoking, and that's one of the things that's on hold right now. One of the very few hospitals actually in the state that was continuing to do that, and so they did a great job. The Massachusetts has a quit line, and I have a little something here, 1-800-QUIT-NOW. It's pretty easy to remember.
Very easy to remember.
And it's open kind of 9 to 7, Monday through Thursday, and Friday is 9 to 5. And you can actually get in-person help to help you quit smoking. They'll talk about medication, they'll talk about the patch, they'll talk about the gum, they'll talk about setting you up to help you quit. The varieties of medication, often they're on those websites. There's a tremendous amount of help, how to set up your quit. And then even on the Cape, if you're a municipal worker on the Cape, we have a fabulous program that's being supported by the Cape Cod Municipal Health Group in terms of helping people to quit smoking.
Indeed. Well, if people want more information on Kick Butt Stay, what's the best way for them to find that out?
I would say go online and just actually Google Kick Butt Stay, and it'll come right up.
Great. Well, Adam, thank you so much, as always, for joining us here live in studio. Great to have you, and thank you so much for the information. We hope we inspire some people to put down those cigarettes.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you so much. More Barnstable This Morning to come.